Jordan Poole was included in the package that sent Chris Paul to the Golden State Warriors on Thursday, bringing the young guard to the Wizards. It was a roller coaster of a season for Poole last year, as although his scoring took a slight jump, he was much less efficient, and many would argue it was a disappointing season for him, which was put most on display during the playoffs. He had gone from someone many viewed as an emerging star and the Warriors' next Steph Curry to a liability in just one season. I even talked about this early in the playoffs, noting that the Warriors had a Jordan Poole problem. It was hard to bench him due to the giant contract extension he had signed, but he was hurting the team when on the floor. However, despite all the negatives you may think about him, I love his fit in Washington. I think it's a win-win for both sides and honestly a great chance to buy low on Poole. Since the Wizards are a rebuilding team and not trying to win, they will likely allow him to take as many shots as possible. In some ways that might push them towards losses, but they're okay with that. And Poole can put up gaudy scoring numbers while becoming more used to a high volume role and improving at it. I don't think we'll see him put up the 31 points per game we saw from Beal a few seasons ago, but there's a good chance he'll average 27 plus, and potentially win Most Improved Player. Jordan Poole and the Washington Wizards are a perfect match. Now let's take a deeper look at what makes this a win for both parties. Before we get into the pool party in Washington, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watch me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. Jordan Poole has given me a reason to trust the Washington Wizards again. The last couple of years have been a particularly tough watch on the court, but at least the team was boring enough, save for Kyle Kuzma's outfits, for everyone to ignore. That's changed in the past couple of weeks. Suddenly, every NBA fan realized just how nasty Bradley Beal's 5-year, $251 million contract with a no-trade clause was. It also became clear just how incompetent of an organization the Wizards had to be to give out the no-trade in the first place. But then the moves started happening. Beal shipped off to Phoenix and Kristaps Porzingis to Boston. The immediate returns might not have been spectacular for either, but the big value was in getting Beal's money off the books and Porzingis out of the way for a proper teardown. The third trade, though, is the one that showed how serious this new front office was, dealing Chris Paul to the Warriors for Jordan Poole. Even at 38, CP3's basketball genius and veteran savvy would have been enough to give the Wizards some wins they definitely didn't deserve. Just look at the surprisingly frisky 2020 Thunder. The Wizards must have seen that possibility and decided not only that they wanted no part in those victories, but also that they wanted the antithesis of that kind of veteran presence on the team. Poole checks both anti-boxes perfectly. Over the past 6 months or so, Poole went from the future star to liability as the Warriors decided they were out of patience while Steph Curry's title window is still open. Financially, his upcoming salary would have forced the team into the more draconian penalties of the Warriors' targeted collective bargaining agreement. On the court, his reckless gunning and impression of a drunk baby giraffe while dribbling played a significant role in the Warriors' postseason elimination. With the Wizards, Poole can start completely fresh in a brand new win-win partnership aimed at losing. Any notion of a championship window in Washington has been shut, locked, and completely boarded up, so there's nothing to interrupt. Poole can put the ugly mess of last season behind him while still earning a lot of money, retooling his game, serving as one of the team veterans with championship experience, and even partying at John Wall's go-to Rose Bar if he feels like it. In return, the Wizards get a setup not designed to succeed. If the goal is to rebuild from the ground up, the team needs to hit rock bottom first, and Poole is the perfect captain to navigate them there. He's an overly ambitious shooter who takes way too many dribbles and sometimes needs just one made basket as an excuse to take a deep heat check three that would raise any coach's blood pressure to dangerous levels. As Golden State experience, it works wonders when the shots go in and becomes a complete disaster when they don't. Winning organizations don't want that kind of inconsistency anywhere near their roster, but a winning organization is not what the Wizards want to be right now. As they figure out their way forward, Poole can figure out how to make his game work with all the leniency of sub-500 expectations. History has already shown that an erratic scorer can put up numbers on bad Washington teams and then make his way to a championship roster with Nick Young. Poole could very well be the second coming of that archetype, which is good for the Wizards now and for Poole later. There's always a chance that Poole ends up figuring out how to be a star. He is a champion who contributed heavily to the Dubs' title run 2 seasons ago. Perhaps he ends up giving the Wizards those exact victories the team is trying to avoid by trading CP3, and the team's future draft spot starts inching closer to the middle. At that point, the Wizards could offload him to a team trying to get a missing piece for a playoff run, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. A projected starting lineup of Poole, Tyus Jones, Corey Kispert, Denny Avdia, and Daniel Gafford is not winning many games. Most of this will suck for the average Wizards fans, of which there are dozens. Tanking is not fun to watch. Even the most ardent trust the process supporters are significantly happier watching Joel Embiid win the MVP award than hoping KJ McDaniels has slightly improved his trade value. DC fans are paying the price for the sins of previous front offices that forced this new regime's hand into this rebuild. But the rebuild will continue, regardless if morale improves. With that in mind, the least the organization could do is still trust that things will work out for the team in the end, and show that they're serious about this process. Thanks to their acquisition of Poole, the Wizards have done just that, which is more than they've done for the fans in a long time. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.